Dear Leader John Steenhuisen says the Government of National Unity will overcome obstacles to ensure that South Africa's economy grows to the targeted 3% by the end of 2025. Government officials and 130 CEOs signed the second phase of a cooperation agreement to fix the power crisis, transport and logistics, as well as tackle crime and corruption. Xolani Mbanjwa, business editor, with us for more.
The second phase of the government and business partnership gets underway in the Government of National Unity. We have never been here as South Africa where 10 different political parties have come together to drive the country's goals forward. One of the leaders is from the Democratic Alliance, and that is John Steenhuisen. He's been here witnessing 130 CEOs signing this partnership with the government, yourselves as the Government of National Unity. 3% economic growth by 2025. How achievable is that?
Well, I think it's ambitious, but I think we've got to be ambitious in South Africa. You can't be unambitious with a 42% expanded unemployment rate and with an economy that's only growing at 0.4% and shedding jobs daily. You have to be ambitious, and the Government of National Unity is ambitious, and we're full of ambition for South Africa. We believe we can do it, we can get there. We believe that with the right levers, the right reforms in place, you're going to start seeing that. You're already seeing the sentiment moving in the right direction, and it's puffed out the sails of the ship of state. And I think when the medium-term budget policy statement and the medium-term development plan come out, and people can see this is a government that's serious about reform, not just talking about it, it's going to fill out those sails, and we're going to see the ship of state moving forward quite significantly. So I think this is an important day. Government can't do it alone. It needs public-private partnerships, and I think that we've already seen the success of this model in the energy space, in the transport logistics space. And obviously there's a lot more to be done, but I think it's off to a very good start.
A lot of people are still doubting whether the Government of National Unity will last. And as one of the leaders that are quite important in that GNU, there could be inflection points. What do you say to those who might be doubting that the Bella Bill will be a case in point or the NHI will be a case in point? Because without the GNU being together, this partnership might not work.
Yes, of course. And I think that we need to understand in any coalition, no party can get everything that they want, but they should be able to get some of the things they want. So we've made it very clear, the ANC can't get everything because they don't have a majority, but we also can't get everything we want. But we should both be able to find compromise about getting some of the things we want. We've been very explicit that we are in this government for growth and jobs. And anything that gets in the way or prevents us from providing growth and jobs will be one of the reasons why we would consider exiting, or if there's a gross violation of the Constitution. But we understand that South Africa needs this government now to be able to move the country forward. And you obviously need to make sure that, yes, it's not going to be easy. It's a 10-party grouping or coalition. You're not going to agree on everything all the time, but I think that we must be mature to find compromise in the way forward. I don't think absolutist positions on either side of the equation will assist us, but I do think there is a middle ground. On NHI, for instance, I believe that business, opposition parties and parties in government can find each other. We all want the same thing. We want universal access to basic health care for every South African, regardless of their income status. We can spend the next 10 years fighting in the Constitutional Court on the legalities of NHI and some of the things that are proposed, or we can actually just sit around a table as mature adults and say, what can we do now to make the experience of somebody walking into a state hospital seeking care better? How do we improve the fundamentals of the healthcare system in the country? And I think that's where we need to grapple. The GNU has got a burning platform of 4 years. If we don't create growth, if we don't create jobs, and if we don't start to improve service delivery in the lives of South Africans, we're going to hand the country over on a platter to the breakers on the other side of the aisle in Parliament. And I think the consequences of that for South Africa will be devastating.
John Steenhuisen, the DA leader, saying that the GNU is here to stay and they are all for this partnership with the private sector in order to turn South Africa's fortunes around. For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I'm Xolani Mbanjwa in Johannesburg.